The secret to you attracting dreamy, aligned, incredible clients into your business and into your personal brand doesn't come from a shift in your content strategy or your ads funnel or going viral. It comes from a shift in the way that you see yourself. Because if on some level, unconsciously, you see yourself as another coach, just another creator, just another insert thing, and you don't see yourself as the industry leader, the authority, the one that will change lives, you will continue to get the result in alignment with your unconscious beliefs. By the end of this training, I want you to leave with a full strategy, a full roadmap plan to rewire your subconscious mind, shift your self concept entirely so that you can take different action and become a magnet to the clients that you know you should be working with deep down. You probably look at other people in your industry like, huh, I know so much more than them. I could help this person so much more. And yet they're attracting clients and you're not. And you know why? Because they believe that they deserve to be more than you do. What you have to understand is that your subconscious mind is running 95% of your day. And if subconsciously you have beliefs like, they probably won't sign up with me. This month is a really quiet month. My DMs are like the Sahara Desert. Nobody's going to sign up right now. All of the things like you're doubting yourself, you're questioning your prices. Am I worth that? All of these things that is being projected outwards because what your brain does, your subconscious mind, is here to protect you. Okay. What it does is it goes, we have these beliefs that nobody's going to sign up, that we're not really good enough, that we're not da 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 da. And that is a smokescreen for the actual real fear, the actual limiting belief that you have. Now, let's say, for example, you have grown up where money was seen as bad. People with money were considered bad. Or you grew up and maybe you were picked on in school, right? You now have a fear of being seen. You have a visibility wound. And so your brain will convince you, oh, it's just that we're not good enough. It's just that we have imposter syndrome. All of these things, yada, 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 to protect you from uncovering the real limitation, the real limiting belief that I'm scared of being seen, I'm scared of being acknowledged, I'm scared of being alone, I'm scared of being rejected, I'm scared of not being good enough. Those are our lower level limiting beliefs. And so until you uncover those, your brain will keep coming up with all of these excuses. I can't record the YouTube because I don't have the camera. And I can't go viral on Instagram because, I've not done the photo shoot and I'm not that funny and I didn't come up with the trend. So what the heck? I'm just not good enough, blah, all the things that you're already saying to yourself, that becomes your identity. That becomes a part of your self-concept. And what also happens because your subconscious mind is working to validate this, your brain is like, huh, this is what we're thinking. Let me find all of the reasons that this is true because your brain, she always thinks you're right. Your ego is like, of course we're right. Of course we're correct in thinking that nobody's going to sign up. Your ego is working to prove your beliefs right. So even when you joke and say, I'm not good enough, business is dead at the moment. Oh my God, everything's going wrong. All my clients are leaving. Guess what's going to happen? Your brain is going to work to prove that right. And so you start to take action in alignment with that. You start to take action in alignment with that. And then your RAS, so your reticular activating system, comes in and it's like, let's find more evidence that this is true. It works as that filtering system to prevent any other information coming in. I've spoken about this before. When I was in a space of wanting to grow my business, but I knew deep down that I wanted to go into business and mindset coaching, right? I knew that deep down. So I self-sabotaged in my fitness business. I self-sabotaged over and over and over again. And my Raz was so accustomed to looking for the evidence that things weren't working for me. Guess what I missed? I missed like 6 in coaching inquiries in my DMs. Wasn't even aware that they had come through. Why? Why do you think that's happened? Because my RAS, my reticular activating system, had shut itself off completely to that. It's like the whole concept of like red flags in men. Let's talk about it. Because everybody can see the red flags in other people's mans. You can see it in your best friend, but you can't see it in your own. And that's because your reticular activating system is looking for the good because you want to believe in the good. So you miss the red flags subconsciously. You're not consciously trying to do it. Subconsciously, you're being protected from the red flags because it wants to validate the fact that you did make the right decision with staying, right? That is how the subconscious mind works. It works to validate your brain, your thoughts, your beliefs. Why do you think, side tangent, why do you think serial killers think they're doing good? Why do you think people who are bad, very, very bad people, don't see it as bad? They think they're doing something good for the world because their brain has conditioned them to believe that they're doing the right thing. Your brain will justify anything to you. So if you don't see yourself as a bad bitch, as the industry leader, as the one of one, nobody else will. Because you will also start to take aligned action with that, which leads me on to my next point. If you want to shift your self concept basically being how you see yourself and therefore how others see you. Have you ever met just somebody who's so confident, so magnetizing, so radiating that you were just obsessed with her energy or obsessed with her confidence because you can feel it from her? She's not trying to prove herself. She doesn't need you to like her. She likes herself. It is magnetizing. You can't help but go back to her Instagram page. You can't help but consume her things because that energy of actually genuinely liking and loving yourself is magnetizing. It's so rare for people to actually like themselves and back themselves. So when we find it, we're magnetized to it. So if you want to shift your self concept to be that magnetizer, that magnet, to be the person that people can't help but consume, can't help but be around, that comes from you seeing yourself as that person. Again, the be, do, have. Be, do, have is effectively the literal golden rules of manifestation. And whenever somebody says to me, like, manifestation is just all woo woo and it's just hoping for the best, that is complete bullshit. Manifestation, the whole concept, if you actually look at beyond the shitty, like just affirm it and it'll come true manifestation, the fake manifestation that say those things to kind of lead you on, the actual real people that talk about manifestation on a scientific level, literature that talks about manifestation is all about be, do, have. Meaning, if you want to have something, so maybe you want to have a really huge personal brand, maybe you want to build your business. Maybe you want to like be a YouTuber, a podcaster. And when I say that, I don't just mean like you try. No, you're actually so successful. You're invited to talks, you're invited to these huge campaigns. You are modeling for Gymshark. Like you have all of these things happening for you. You have that result. We have to reverse engineer the do and the be, starting with the be, because your do, your actions are always a representation of the internal beliefs that you have about yourself. So who would we need to be if I wanted that result, if I wanted to have £1 million, right? What would Evie with £1 million currently be? What would she be? What would she be thinking? And get really, really granular. This is how you change your self-concept. Get really granular about it. What would I be? Well, I would be probably waking up on time. For starters, I would be confident. I would be energized. I would be eating healthy. That's more of a do, but like the be, I'd be thinking healthy. I would be thinking about connections with people. I would be so confident in myself. I'd be so calm. I'd be so regulated. I would be going to get my nails done. I would be feeling so good in myself. I'd be treating myself. I would be so magnetic in my energy because I would be so confident. And so, what would I do? Okay, if I was earning that amount, what would I do? What would I need to do? What would my business setup look like? Well, my business would probably look like this, and I would probably have this and that, and then this and then that. And therefore, you start taking aligned action with that version of you. But right now, your self concept has you taking action that's keeping you stuck because you're like, things are really struggling right now. Let me go and feel sorry for myself. Let me go and post a really scarcity driven post. Let me just post on Instagram for the sake of posting on Instagram because that's what I think I need to do. It's driven in scarcity and fear and lack. Which guess what? Guess what that means? You attract more scarcity, fear, and lack. People feel your energy on a subconscious level. You can't consciously feel that, but subconsciously that you do. You can feel that energy in somebody. Just like you can feel somebody's confidence, you can feel somebody's doubt and fear. Like animals can feel our fear. We can feel each other's fear. We may not be aware of it, but we can. You can feel my fear. I can feel yours. We are just the same. We can feel each other's fear. And so if you are rooted in the fear and the lack and the scarcity and that it's not working, nothing's happening in my way, you will start taking action without trying. You will take action in alignment with that to prove once again so that your ego and your Raz can prove to you that that is true, can prove to you that you're not good enough, can prove to you that you can't stick with it. So it can prove to you XYZ. And it's not because your brain hates you, but it is literally a protection mechanism. It is your brain trying to protect you from going to the next level because it fears if you do go to the next level, that equals growth, that equals discomfort, that equals the unknown. It is easier for your brain to stay in the horrible now. In the now that may be so driven through pain and frustration for you, but it is easier to stay in that than it is to have the glimmer of hope that it could be better. But success is based on your faith in the positive outcome more than the faith in the negative. If you are living in, we always have faith. You have faith in two ways. You're either believing and having faith and trusting and believing in that vision of yours, or you're believing in the opposite. You're believing in the lack of that vision. You're believing in the failure and the fear. You're always believing. The belief never goes away. So when people say, I just need to believe more, I say, you do believe, but you're believing in the wrong thing. So if you want to shift your self concept, I need you to choose that vision and to fucking believe in yourself and to believe in the positive. And this is where the self concept comes back in of you will only get what you believe about yourself to be true. If you believe that things are a struggle, things will become a struggle. If you believe that nobody is coming to you, nobody will come to you. So how do we start to change this? This is my favorite part. First things first is we do the be do have equation. I actually have a full be do have workbook that I share in my embodied CEO membership. This is a literal identity shifting so that you can build your business membership. We do monthly calls. We do like weekly resources. The community is incredible. I highly recommend that you join that. I will drop the link in the bio with a little special discount for you guys jumping in from the podcast, from the YouTube, because that be do have worksheet in its own, in itself, will double your income because you will start taking different action and you will start thinking bigger than you're currently thinking. So we do the be do have. We start asking ourselves, if I want to have this outcome, who do I need to be in my emotions, in my thoughts, in my feelings, in my behaviors, in my habits? In how I handle stressful situations, in how I handle fear, in how I handle scarcity, and literally play out every single scenario that you can think of. Maybe in the past, you've been caught in the fear, in the scarcity. Maybe if a few clients drop off, you've allowed it to mean something about you. But in Be Do Have, we decide the version of me making a million, making £100,000 a month, whatever your goal is. That version of me would stay strong, would stay rooted, would stay convicted and confident no matter what. So you can start to play out different scenarios to bring evidence to the reticular activating system to start to create those new neural pathways. Your brain doesn't know the difference between an imagined scenario and a real life scenario. And so we can actually create neural pathways by thinking differently, by starting to imagine when XYZ will happen, because shit will always happen in business, shit will always happen in life. This is how I will handle it in this new be do have identity. This is literally shifting your self concept. This is shifting your identity. This is shifting who you be so that you can take different action, which is the do. Because what got you to where you are today will not get you to where you want to get to. I had this conversation with a client. We did a 90-minute intensive. And what we found was she wants to scale to multi seven figures. And yet, when we looked at her actual offer suite, it was all like one-to-one. She wants to scale to multi seven figures as a marketing and funnels coach. But when we looked at her offer suite, it was all one-to-one. It was all one-to-one done for you, or one-to-one calls, or this, that. And the pricing was way too low. And I literally said to her, like, hey, if you want to scale to that point, do you realize you are going to have hundreds of clients? You will have no freedom to travel. Is that what you want? And we're like, no. So now we know that based on the have, we reverse engineered from the have to the do. Okay, so now we're going to need to take different action and create new offers that actually align with your goals. Because charging £100 for an hour session is not going to get you to a million, my love. It's not even going to get you to 10K. It will create a lot of stress and it will create a lot of misalignment. And once again, you will then, because your brain is so freaking smart, it will try and protect you. What's it going to do? It's going to self-sabotage you from selling strongly in your content because you don't actually want to sell out those £100 packages because you know how much work it's going to take, how much of you have to give in every single one of those 60-minute sessions to actually help that client see the transformation. So your brain is going to go, we're not going to sell very strongly. When we're going to create our content, it's going to be lazy. It's going to be half-assed. It's not going to be that potent. It's not going to be that like magnetizing because your brain doesn't actually want you to sell that £100 package because it doesn't feel fun or light or enjoyable. So it's a continuous loop until you understand the BD you have, and until you start to shift that, you will always take the same action that will keep you inside the same loop. So we can start to shift our do. And therefore, as a byproduct of who we be and what we do, our thoughts and our actions, we create the result. This is how we shift and get the what you want and become a magnet to dream clients and attract premium clients because we start asking ourselves, how would that version of me show up? How would she show up on her stories? What would she do? Would she second guess her content? No, she fucking would not. Would she second guess showing up? No, she would not. And then we can start to create and think of affirmations, again, to change that self concept that would go in alignment with that self of you, that self that has earned all the money, that is all of this success. Because it's not actually the money that you're after, it's the things that the money will enable. It's the freedom. It's the joy to be able to buy nice things. It's the joy to be able to treat people, to give back to charity. That is what we seek. So we can think about that version of me. What would she be thinking? What would she want to know? And then we can start to create the affirmations that will help us shift our self concept. So, how we do this is things like affirmations like dream clients are finding me every single day. Clients love to pay me £10,000. Clients love to pay me £5,000 straight through a link. I love serving my clients who pay me big money. My energy is my money, right? And we can start to create affirmations like this that help root it in. But most importantly, when we're working on your self concept, we have to remove those limiting beliefs. We have to remove the fears of not being good enough, of being seen, of that visibility wound. Again, this is everything that I do inside of the Embodied CEO membership. Even if you just join for a month, I promise you, it will change your life in that 1 month. You will change your entire identity. It is the best thing on the internet. It is the best thing, the only place on the internet that I found for female entrepreneurs who want to build their business but know that their identity comes first and that through shifting their identity creates their personal brand, creates their strong business. I genuinely, I say this because I love you and I want the best for you. I would recommend that you come and join us because you will watch your life unfold in front of you in a matter of days and you will watch yourself get the results fast. Get the shift your energy, shift your identity, and achieve everything that you want to achieve through shifting who you be, what you do, and therefore what you receive. Your self concept is the most powerful thing that contributes towards your success. I talk all the time about content. Go through my feed. You will find so much on magnetizing content, but it all starts with, guess what? With your self belief. I teach all the time about offers, about sales, about marketing. But guess what? I will always reiterate in every single one of my programs. If you've ever bought anything from me, if you bought my personal branding course, you bought my magnetic messaging, you bought my offers course, anything, you will always find the first module will always talk about your self belief, how you see yourself, and your identity. Because everything starts with that. If you do not believe that you are good enough, if you do not believe that you are special, you will never see the results that you want to see through the strategy until you shift your identity. This is the most important thing. And when you do this, when you do the be do have, when you do the affirmations, when you shift your self concept and you've removed those limiting beliefs holding you back, I promise you, you will magnetize dream clients into your business, into your YouTube, into your following, however it is that you want to grow, whatever it is that you're trying to bring in and you're trying to create, because we are creators, we're co creating always. This is the way to do it. This is the key. This is the only thing in the way between you and your goals is your self-concept, your identity, and the be, do, have equation. I hope you've loved this training. I have absolutely loved teaching it. You need to know always, always, always that you are perfect as you are, that dream clients are trying to find you right now. They're literally hoping somebody like you comes along, and it is your responsibility to go all in on your goals, all in on who you know that you can become, so that you don't only serve you, but you serve the thousands and thousands of people that will benefit from your work. Thousands, millions. Okay. I will see you in the next video or the next episode if you're listening on the podcast. Don't forget to drop me a review, drop me a like. And if you want to jump into any of my programs, I will drop them below. And have a gorgeous day. I appreciate you. Bye.